Thank you. Now to our other top story tonight. Family members of the victims in the Hunter High School shooting back in January speaking out about the shooter's recent sentencing, saying justice was not served.
The 15-year-old shot and killed 15-year-old Paul Tahi and 14-year-old Tivani, injuring Ephraim, who was 15 when the gunfire sent him to the hospital. ABC4's Ali O'Rulian joining us from outside Hunter High, where the deadly fight broke out. And Ali, you talked to Paul's family today. What do they think of the sentencing?
Well, frankly, the family understands. They say they understand how difficult these cases can be, but with the shooter not being tried as a juvenile, with him getting a plea deal and with him not going to a trial, they say that the sentencing just, quite frankly, wasn't severe enough.
The case is closed for the 15-year-old shooter who killed 2 teenage boys and injured another. And the families of the victims are more than just disappointed.
It's heartbreaking, honestly.
The shooter taking a plea deal. According to court documents, the shooter is pleading guilty for 2 counts of manslaughter and 1 count of discharge of a firearm. As a result of being tried as a juvenile, the 15-year-old will be held in juvenile detention till he's 21 years old. For the family, they say they want to make sure this doesn't happen again, and 6 years being behind bars isn't long enough.
We didn't see it necessary for him to be put away for life, but we did want to see a consequence that would kind of make us get closure with what happened.
I talked to the cousin of victim Paul Tahi, who says he was like a little brother to her. She says her family has dealt with the court system before, saying this was the first time they've been on the state side, and they put a lot of trust into the system. But she says the sentencing felt like a slap on the wrist, and no one fought for justice for the victims.
It just felt like no one tried for our boys. We lost, there's 2 families who don't have a son that's returning home, and then 1 kid his future is out the door.
Initial charging documents saying one of the witnesses claims the shooter was bullied by the victims. In response to these claims, Paul's cousin says the school should have handled that much sooner and that no kid should ever feel the need to bring a gun to school.
We're kind of just wondering why the school didn't address that to us, because that's one thing we would have nipped in the bud had we known.
She says the families of the victims are still heartbroken, and Paul deserved better.
He didn't have an easy life. This was a kid that was sleeping over a family member's house just to get to school. So we just didn't want it to end like this.
The family will be holding a vigil tomorrow at 3 p.m. in protest of the sentencing. You can find more information on our website, abc4.com. Reporting live in West Valley, I'm Ali O'Rulian, ABC4 News.